What's going on, child? It's your most favorite diabetic YouTuber in the whole entire world, back with another video. Now today we are talking about, well, I'm just gonna make it this simple. You probably already know what we're checking out, but I watched SuperMan. Dun, dun, dun. I watched it. All right, now I'm not the hugest / biggest DC fan. Of course, the old Batman's, the one with the Joker, the one that was filmed in Pittsburgh-ish with Bane. I love those ones. And also, Penguin. That one, that new TV show is beautiful too. But James Gunn got control of the DC universe, and honestly, I'm so excited because Guardians of the Galaxy, all of them are beautiful. It's low-key one of my favorite films still to this day. I watch them no matter what, over and over, even if I know how it's all going to turn out and, the whole timeline, and I still watch that shit, all right? I love it. But yeah, James Gunn, he got control of this, and low-key, I knew he was going to do his thing, but this shit was way better than I could have ever expected. I was expecting it to be, alright, yeah, it's still the DC, but no. Like, this got me excited for the next film, like, the next leap. Like, shit, even just seeing, of course, there's going to be spoilers, but of course, just seeing Supergirl for 2 seconds and literally seeing how she was, like, lit and all that, it's like, oh my god, this is a whole different vibe. Like, I like this shit. This is better than I was expecting, and I need the new one now. But yeah, of course, I'm going to break down a little bit of, like, what happened in this, but more specifically, I'm just going to break down what I really liked about it and the little things I didn't, because necessarily, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, though. I mean, it was great, but it wasn't necessarily that great. Like, it definitely was, but like, it's got a little flaws is what I'm trying to say, but I just couldn't figure out how you say it a little snazzier than that, so it took a lot to get out of me. But yeah, of course, before we get any further though, I have to say it is all love, no hate. Now, of course, I'm going to make my jokes, be brutally honest. I know a lot of y'all am typically an arsehole, but if it's hate, beef, or anything crazy like that, I straight admit it. Now, one more time, all love. Now, I'm just going to say this first of all. Of course, I know the actor, but I was a little bit scared, all right? Just the way they were portraying him on, like, the trailers and all that. When I see Lex Luthor, I think of, like, a little bit different, all right? Like, of course, not the, like, other Lex Luthor they tried. That one was terrible, in my opinion. But this one, it had me questionable. But, I'm just going to say it. Nicholas Hoult, I'll be saying his name wrong. He killed that shit. He made that even better. He made it into a Lex Luthor, like, now when I think of Lex Luthor, I'm going to think of him. Kind of like when you think of Iron Man, you think of Robert Downey Jr., it's kind of like, in your mind, like, it's one of them. Like, in my opinion now, that's Lex Luthor, alright? If I'm paying it, I see him, and he fit that role perfect. Like, low-key, the way he had the whole psychotic mindset, but still a smart genius, and still a little bit, like, villain. Like, I don't know, like, he was on the villain to the max, but he was so smart that he was doing it, like, on the low-key, but still, he, ends up getting busted, obviously, at the end, because the good people always win, unless, you watch the Endgame, whatever. That joke fell off, the window's still there, but yeah, he killed this shit. He embodied it. He did it, like, I never knew, like, what he was actually going to be like. I thought it was kind of going to be corny, how he was going to act and everything. I was really hoping it wasn't, but, like, nothing against him. Just how they portrayed the character on the trailer is where I got my thoughts on that. And no, he just straight up destroyed that shit. He literally is Lex Luthor to me. Okay, I'm just going to say that point blank. I don't know if he is forever, but yeah, when I hear Lex Luthor, I'm gonna be like, oh, that one, because he embodied that shit perfectly. Like, especially him acting like a psycho, but a genius, crazy genius. There you go. It was perfect. Like, he'd be like, and then of course, having his exes and shit all up in the prisons in the middle of the different, like, universe. Like, that shit is crazy. Now, of course, I said there's gonna be little spoilers, and I'm not necessarily breaking down everything, but yeah, like, just everything, his way he was acting, the way he portrayed it, the way he even, like, communicated to Superman and shit. Like, it felt like something that I would actually believe. Like a realistic Lex Luthor, which honestly, I didn't think that we were going to get, so I'm just so happy. I like it a lot, and low-key, everybody's been calling me Lex Luthor, if you get what I mean, so I'll take it. But he embodied that. He did his whole entire thing. Now, also, of course, Superman. The actor, David Cornsweet. My bad. I know I'm probably butchering all these names. He killed that shit. Honestly, I didn't know how he would actually be able to embody Superman, especially since, even though I don't really like the other Superman movies, but the Henry Cavill, not seeing him be the Superman exactly, it was interesting, but he embodied this shit perfect. Like, he did it, like, so, I don't know, so many aspects and, like, emotion-wise that I could go and base it off, but just the way he portrayed Superman, like, you felt like he actually lived the life of Superman. Like, damn near, he embodied that shit perfectly as well. Like, you really, like, because, of course, when you get into this one, the future timeline has kind of already been happening. Superheroes, villains, and shit been popping around, of course, but you could really, like, see that he's going through mental conflict as he's growing into, him and, regular life. Plus, he's still with Lois somewhat. I mean, officially at the end, but, like, you feel that shit damn near. Like, you can feel that you feel the emotions is what I'm trying to say, all right? You feel that shit. It's real deep. It does hit deep, like, especially when he's, like, upset when he finds out, apparently, allegedly, that he was sent there to rule Earth on a bad way, but I think that's all cap in general. But, he puts that in his mind, and he gets all sad, and then you starts thinking about, like, damn, I've been trying to help him, and now they all think I was actually here to kill him. Like, oh, like, you really feel like that. And you can really feel like he's been doing it for years, and now you guys are all switching. Like, that emotion, it felt real. It felt deep. And honestly, the way he just embodied it was perfect. Now, I'm going to also just say this real quick. The way James Gunn added in the music kind of aspect was beautiful and perfect. Of course, how he did it in Guardians of the Galaxy, or all of them. Like the, like with the battle scenes and shit like that. They had, I believe, at least one is living on my mind when Mr. Fantastic, I could be wrong, that was a new hero for me. Like I said, I'm not casual to DC. Yeah, but when he was going to look for Superman and he was just with the music, oh, it hit perfect. It hit better. And honestly, it definitely just adds a vibe. And James Gunn definitely just added his touch on everything, to this whole movie. And yeah, I can't lie. I'm so happy he got control of it, because now I'm like a DC fan. I'll say that. I don't have a favorite hero over there yet, but I'm a fan. Loki Bane's kind of like my favorite person so far, but he's not a hero. But we're going to relate. Mr. Batman. Nailed it. Okay, so a little quick rundown. Not gonna say it all, but basically you start out, you see Superman is being portrayed as a bad person because he kind of went around the government's back and stopped the war. Oh my god, a terrible ass person. But really that war was kind of like low-key funded by Lex Luthor to kind of, start some ish, plus, make some extra cash, I think. But at the same time, it was started by him. So then you have that like little drama going on where, yes, he did the right thing, but people are treating him bad, and emotionally I would get it. Like, he hit that emotion factor perfectly as well. But of course you keep going on, and what the hell happens? Oh, Lex Luthor and his crew, they break into Superman's crib with a fake Superman, aka a cloned one, which is basically just a body out there, if you find out at the end, because he just kind of get molly-swapped when he has nobody controlling him. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so they get into his house, they steal information, find that video that of his parents. They kind of AI'd it a little bit, maybe not, but in general, that comes out. And everybody really hates his ass because they think he's there to try to get have a bunch of kids with millions of women, take them, like all that kinds of crazy shit. Loki, like a full-on dictatorship type deal. That's what they were trying to say he is. But of course, it ain't. He's a normal person. But he gets captured. Not really. He gives himself up to the government. Lex Luthor captures him, puts him in his little prison in the middle of some vortex in a different multiverse where he has his ex-girlfriends and all kinds of different people. But just in general, he brings Superman there. There's a dude, I don't remember his name, but he can make kryptonite on his hand. So basically, Superman's down and out. And yeah, so he breaks out of there with the help of a Lois Lane and a Mr. Fantastic. But of course, you know, he saves the kid, that guy's kid, and you know, they become partners as well. I think he is part of the Justice Gang. I believe that's what they call. They're called the Justice Gang. I don't know, I can't remember, but it was something weird. But yeah, I think he becomes that as well. Side note. But breaks out. What the hell happens? Breaks out. He's sick as hell. So they go back to his OG home, which is another good thing / thing that I didn't know was going to work perfectly. We didn't get a full-on origin story. We kind of just jump landed into everything, which was beautiful and low-key smart. I like that a lot, James Gunn and them. But yeah, so you go back to the barn, meet his family, kind of get the full connection, and then he goes and does his thing, all right? Like, he saves the world, he stops Lex Luthor. What else happens? Like, that's basically kind of like it. Like, of course, there's big and effects, all that to it, but I'm not going to explain it all. But that's basically it on that aspect. So, the way it ends, I really love, because I feel like a lot of people, and me, myself, I wasn't too sure how I was going to like it without having an origin story, even though we all know the origin story. He sits down in his chair in his Coliseum, that giant ice globe, whatever that name is. He sits down in a chair, and they, you know, them robots, they say, "Do you want us to play the videos of your parents?" They always seem to calm you down. Yes, I'm thinking, oh no, he's just going to watch that video on repeat now? You got so devastated hearing that. So instead, it was his actual parents. I mean, of course, the ones in Krypton, or I mean, that were up there, you know, they are, but like the ones that raised him and shit. You know, it's like all the family videos, him playing baseball, opening Christmas gifts, just swinging around so you can see like everything. And really, that's like the origin story right there. You basically already heard the note, the message from his parents, the story about how he landed there, and then you basically meet the parents without even, like, you know, making it that big of a deal, that huge ass thing. It was like a 15-minute segment, which fit perfectly, and then you end it with the whole rephrasing of the childhood, how it's like his actual home, and how, you know, damn near he is American. I mean, Earthican. Sorry, I don't even know if they call it America and shit in DC Universe. But in general, I thought they ended that shit beautifully. And honestly, I'm fully impressed. I really got to see, I really want to see, there we go. I really want to see the next one. I'm like low-key becoming a DC fan. And I'm going to have to figure out my favorite superhero. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Superman is cool, but that's a little bit too cliche. That's like saying Superman, Batman, or Aquaman. They're cool and all, but I'll find me a new one. Maybe. Nah, I was gonna say Peacekeeper, but I don't know if he's an anti-hero or what the hell he is. But yeah, that's really like I say. But I do know what y'all thought about this movie in the comment section down below. Also in the comments, comment your boy make all kinds of videos. So comment you want to see. And yeah, it's like I've had a video.